Hi,
Hi, Chris. How's it going?
going well. Sorry if I'm a couple minutes late. It's been one of those days.
Hey, that's fine. So, Chris Impellitteri, you got a great new compilation coming out. I mean, this is incredible to have all, the great songs on, one format. Certainly because we're living in the Spotify era, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're thrilled to finally get this music released globally.
I mean, how long did it take you to realize it should be done like this and we need the stuff online now, to access this stuff?
Sure. Well, you know, we've been signed with specific record companies in various parts of the world who have control of our masters, right? Which means legally we couldn't release a lot of this music in other territories without permission, express permission, legally speaking. So we've always wanted to get this music out to the masses globally because we've had so much success in the countries that we released it in. So having said that, as soon as the masters and the rights became available to us, we not only locked in those rights and the ownership, but then we basically looked for a label that was really passionate and loved our band, right? Just not a traditional larger label where we would get kind of lost. So we found a company and we basically started to formulate a plan of how we would do this, how we would release it, how we would promote it, what songs should be on it. And that's kind of how this whole thing has evolved and how we are here today getting ready to release it.
That's good. And it's like it's so sad though that it has to take time and time and time because it's like years and years to get this stuff going. It's just too bad that it has to be like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's, like I say, I mean, there's a lot of legalities that artists have to face in music careers,
Right.
right? And sometimes you sign deals where it can almost be making a pact with the devil.
Hmm.
You get something out of it, but then you're giving up a lot. And for us, a lot of that give up or a lot of the stuff that has been kind of like the opportunity cost have been our music has not been accessible to everyone.
It's like that now it is going to be finally, and we got a like cool album cover artwork for Wake the Beast, the Impellitteri anthology. I mean, where's the concept for that one come from?
Well, I'll start with the title, Wake the Beast, because our last was actually called The Nature of. Right? So for years, people have called us like this insanely highly energetic, crazy metal band that has this massive cult following around the world. And our body of music, they kind of title as the Beast. It's definitely a lot of highly energetic, crazy, shredding fast guitar solos, fast double bass drumming, almost on steroids, right? With really poppy melodic vocals and big production. So you know, it, like we're waking the beast. That body of music's now going to get. It's going to kind of flood into parts of the world that it never was exposed to in the past. So that's how we came up with the title.
One thing that's always impressive with you, Chris, is like the guitar playing, has never stopped, and like the licks just never end. I mean, where's the inspiration always keep on going, to make new stuff? Because you've been really active, in the past few years, just to mention.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you said the riffs because a lot of people in the category of these instrumental solo guitar players who I love all of them. But Impellitteri has always been a heavy metal band. It's never been the Chris Impellitteri solo guitar ego show, right? It's been about the contribution of four or five individuals, albeit we've changed members in the past a few times. But for the most part, the core band equally creates this music. And the way our songs always start is it has to have a great riff. And I learned that from the masters. I learned that from people like Tony Iommi, who I love,
Mhm.
Richie Blackmore, Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads. I mean, they were the master of the rock riffs, right? Now, of course, great that accompanies that. But before we get to the solos, which is kind of like the icing on the cake, like the frosting, the song and the riff has to be great. And so that's what we strive for. And I'm glad that you hear that.
Well, you can't make just good solos if you ain't got the good riffs behind it, I guess. So it's a you got
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
both of them. So
because yeah, I mean, look, if I play a great solo but the song sucks, what good is it?
correct. And not many people are going to hear it because it's not a good song. So basically, so it's like that for mastering the process, and getting all these different takes, and different songs. Did you take a lot of time, in doing the final product of mastering it? Maybe choosing the list of songs, how I was going to do it.
Well, all right. So first, let me start here. I'm going to be very clear, and this is intentional. I do not want anybody buying our anthology record with a misconception of we remastered or we remixed the record. Absolutely not. I mean, we worked with some of the best record producers, best engineers, best mastering engineers who got our record sonically perfect, got it right, at least the way we wanted to hear it. They perfected it. There's no way in hell, forget my language, that would bastardize that or change it, right? To kind of convince people to buy it. These records that you're getting, they are coming from the original digital source of what we created and what we intended people to hear, right? Because I think a lot of artists make a huge mistake when they go and remaster or remix their music. It just, it's kind of like what Ozzy did years ago when he replaced the drums and bass. It's like, what are you doing? That was magic that was captured. Don't mess with that. So really what we're doing is we're compiling a body of music that our hardcore fans have loved over the years. I mean, loved. It's touched their life. It's part of their childhood. It's part of their memory, whatever. And it touched them so much that we realized the body of music we chose would be a great representation of who we are as a band. And there are millions of people around the world. They don't know who Impellitteri is. They think Impellitteri is a plague or a disease. They don't know it's a heavy metal band, So this is really for all the people that never really have been exposed to our music, or a lot of our fans who want to buy the records, but they didn't want to pay these outrageous import or export prices, right? Because they're expensive, which we have no control over. It's not us doing that, right? So that's what this is about. And so finally now people have access to our music globally. So, but in all sincerity, I mean, that's the reasoning behind why we're releasing this record. It's really not about our diehard fans that already have our music. They've already got it for the most part. There's some stuff they don't have, and so this is a great excuse to get it all. But this is really for the people that have heard about the band but never bought our records or really checked us out, right? This is for the masses.
And Chris, let's say for Impellitteri, are you guys going to have like some sort of old promo videos coming out to promote this as well? Like maybe unearth some certain stuff we've never seen?
It's a good question. We didn't think about that. We thought, let's let the music do the talking. We're really trying to share our music without, because we, on our real records, like we're working on a new record right now we go in our record companies, another record. So we've been deeply into that for the, past couple of years now. And so, on this is really, we want the music to do the speaking. We didn't have any intent of putting up like live footage because we do a lot of the stuff live as well. But we want people to hear what we did in the studio because it's really capturing the band live.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's a great idea to release this stuff. And it's like what I've seen on Spotify, also in Apple Music, is there's a lot of Impellitteri from 2022 now. So from Global Rock. So could it be that they're re-releasing other albums as well?
Well, what you're going to see probably on Spotify would be from our label Frontiers, right? And if it's in Japan, it would be from JVC Victor because they own those records. They own, like, I know Frontiers, they've got our record Venom. They have The Nature of the Beast. Those are records solely which means no other label can legally release those, but that label. But the back catalog, yes, the back songs before 2020, yeah, that's going to be Global Rock.
Yeah, because I do believe I've seen stuff today from 2022 online.
It must be, but it must be regarding the back catalog.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you say 2022, I start thinking, our new music, which they can't legally release because they don't own it.
Yeah, it's back catalog stuff I was meaning, yeah.
I see, yeah. Yeah, that's exciting.
Hope
it sounds good.
It sounded good in my car. It always does. So it's awesome. And, Chris, you've been keeping so busy, let's say during the pandemic, etc. How is life for you nowadays? I mean, since the pandemic's gone, I guess.
Life has been great. I mean, look, I mean, the pandemic was it's unfortunately it's a part of our life going forward, right? We're gonna have to continue to deal with this. But for us, it didn't impact us too much. And the reason I say that is because remember, for the past year or two, we've been working on writing and creating a new record, right? Which means we're locked away in the studio or in our own studios, working constantly nonstop. And we do that anyways. So a lot of times we don't even know we're in a pandemic because the band's just working so hard on writing this new body of music, that we're about to share with the rest of the world. So, the pandemic really didn't affect us that much. Now, as long as the pandemic doesn't rear its ugly head up again, because we're going to try to tour in 2023 of summer, right? So as long as the pandemic keeps its ugly head down, we're going to get to business and play live.
Chris, that'll be free and good to see. And it's like, just keep up the great work, and great to see Wake the Beast coming out. This is going to be like released September 30th, I do believe. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, you have a great weekend, and just keep up the great work.
All right. You too. And thanks. Great to have, actually, thank you for having us on your show. Greatly appreciate it.
You're very welcome. You have a good one.
All right. You as well, my friend. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.